Hi, in this video, I want to talk about how you can keep building those abs without hurting your back. So if you're somebody who either suffers back pain, but still wants to build their stomach and their core, then this is the video for you. Or if you want to keep building that core without harming your back, even if you haven't got back pain already, then make sure you stay tuned and let's dive straight into this video. Thanks for checking out the channel. My name's John. I'm the head therapist at John W Sports Injury. I'm a sports injury therapist and I want to be doing three simple things. I want to help you understand your body better, get rid of pain and weakness, and strive forward to hit your health and well-being goals. So in this one, we're talking about something that is not only fundamentally important for our health and well-being, but also aesthetically great. And that is to be building those abs, or those six-pack muscles, if you like. But the problem with building our abs is that it can be done at huge detriment to our back. Why is this happening? Well, the six-pack muscles, or what we call the rectus abdominis, bring about spinal flexion. So as a result, if we want to make them stronger, we want to do loads of spinal flexion. And this makes us think of sit-up exercises and things. Great? Not really. The reason being, unfortunately, when we excessively spinally flex, that puts a lot of pressure into our lower back and also puts excessive pressure, force through those disc areas. And that's where we can start to develop lower back issues. So does that mean we can't build our abs? Absolutely not. All it means is that we have to just be a little bit more creative, and that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video, where I'm going to show you how using three different positions we can work those abs, build that core, and actually help our overall back health and certainly not cause any detriment. So first position that I'm going to talk about is lying flat on our back. So remember, in all of these exercises, the goal is to avoid spinal flexion and keep our back flat. So if we're lying flat on our back, what can we do if we can't do a sit-up? Well, nice and simply, we do what we call a reverse sit-up. In this exercise, what we're looking to do is lay flat on the floor, keeping that flat back, and bring our knees up towards our chest. So the clue is in the title. It's the opposite to a sit-up. In a sit-up, we look to bring our knees to our chest. In this, we look to bring, in a sit-up, we bring our chest towards our knees, and in this one, we bring our knees towards the chest. So we can keep our back flat and get the same benefits that we can when we're doing a sit-up. So that's great. We can look to build this exercise further, if we like, from this position. And we can do what we might often be termed something like a dead bugs, or this one being a dead bugs leg exercise, where what we're looking to do is bring those knees up towards the chest. And here what we're doing is looking to lower that leg slowly down towards the floor. Don't touch the floor and bring that leg back in. Now, this movement towards the floor of the leg is actually a deceleration motion. You're not letting that leg drop, you're controlling that movement. By controlling that movement, we're getting eccentric contraction out of those abs. And an eccentric contraction is a difficult exercise to do. It's when we contract a muscle whilst it's braking or decelerating and we're going against those forces. So that will give a good workout for those abs. Give it a try. You'll feel that straight away. But the good thing is we keep that back nice and flat. Now, if we want to take it up another level as well, we can come into an exercise that I call wipers. Keeping our back nice and flat, we just lift our legs straight up in the air at a kind of 90 degrees position. Then what we look to do is drop those feet down towards the floor. Again, the key here is the deceleration. As you're letting your legs drop, don't let them hit the floor. That control is what's going to eccentrically load those abs and give that excessively good workout. You can mix up the position that the legs are dropping into to give your abs something else to think about. But overall, that's three exercises where keeping our back flat, we can be working those abs. Let's dive on to a next position. And this is a position that we call our 4-point kneel. So here's an exercise where I like to kick off with people if they're suffering lower back pain or looking to develop their core strength. And this is what I call a Superman exercise. From this 4-point kneel, the key thing here, as I said with all of these exercises, is that this back doesn't move. What we start to do is lift one arm and the opposing leg away from each other and bring that back to the start point. Now, the key thing here is not what our arms and legs are doing, but what our back's doing, and actually what our back's not doing. And what I mean by that is that back should remain nice and flat as we go through those movements. Now, if we want to build this exercise a little bit, what we can do is add an element of rotation to this movement. By adding rotation, we're going to get a slight bit more of an ab workout. So here what we can look to do is bring that knee right the way through to touch that hand as we repeat that motion. So here we might get a slight movement at the back, but a small rotational movement will give an extra kick into those abs. So that's going to make that a better exercise, a more intense exercise if you like, but still keeping this position of our hands and feet on the, our hands and knees on the floor whilst working those abs. Moving on to a similar position but slightly different is that we can go into our old classic plank exercise. Now, what I want to say here with the plank exercise, and you can see other videos on my channel where I say about how this is a difficult exercise. If you are finding that you're getting lower back pain when doing this exercise, then actually it's too hard for you. You can try the same exercise with your knees on the floor. But when we're going into this plank exercise, we're looking to keep that back nice and flat. Exactly as I've said for all these exercises, we want to keep that back flat, but by keeping that back flat and eliminating any rock, we're recruiting those deep core muscles, those muscles that are going to build up that overall ab strength. So that's one that we can do. We can also, one key factor that's often missed when people are looking to develop those aesthetically pleasing abs or that overall back strengthening core complex, is that we want to hit the obliques as well. Now we can do that by going onto our side. Now if we haven't done a side plank before, I would suggest first of all doing this on your knees. What you're looking to do is lift up onto that elbow and make sure that that back stays in a nice straight line. By being on your side, you should feel the lower side oblique muscle working to hold that position. If you're feeling more comfortable with that exercise, more confident that you're not going to get excessive pain whilst doing it, what we can then do is come up onto our heels or onto our toes, repeating that same side plank exercise, and you will feel a bigger burn. But I would make sure that you can do the knee version first for 30 seconds before you progress onto this one. So a final position that we shouldn't forget if we're looking to build our abs and our core is that we can do lots of exercises from standing. So from a standing position, we know that we can keep our back nice and flat, so we're not getting that spinal flexion. But what we can look to do is do some exercises, for example, where I call these straight arm, straight leg toe taps, where we're looking actually to create that movement of the hip towards the chest by lifting our feet up towards to touch that hand. Now, it might be a little bit difficult for the hand to reach the toe, but what you want to be doing here is just driving that leg, keeping it nice and straight. If you can't reach your hand, it's not a problem. Don't start flexing that spine to reach. Just make sure that we're getting those legs as high as we can get, because by getting the legs as high as you can get, we're going to be working those abs. So another exercise is what I call the knee to hand pull down. So here what we're looking to do is a similar exercise, but using both hands, imagining that you're pulling down on a weights machine, but driving that knee up to meet the hands. Now the key element of this, because we want that back to remain flat, is that the knee drives up more than the hands come down. So with this exercise, really try and make sure that we're driving those knees towards the hands as much as we can so that we're keeping that leg flat. But by getting that knee high, particularly by getting the knee past the hips in terms of the height, you will feel that become a good ab workout. And as I said earlier, we don't want to forget those obliques, and we can do this nice and simply from standing by doing same side elbow to knee taps. So what we're looking to do here, again, the emphasis being on driving that knee high rather than the elbow down so that we're not getting too much spinal movement. But what we're looking to do is drive that knee up to meet the elbow as high as we can. Remember, trying to get above hip height if we can, then you should feel that oblique contraction. So there we have it. What I've looked to do is try to give you 3 simple positions, being the laying on your back, being on the hands and knees stroke plank position, and finally standing position, where you can give yourself a big abs workout. Now, really, there's lots of other exercises that we could have suggested around this. We can be nice and creative with some of these exercises. If you're feeling really confident, here's an exercise on your side plank where you can actually look to combine some of those movements by doing the side plank, then lifting the knee up towards your chest, combines those 2 movements of the oblique control to really make that a big workout. But by going through these exercises at the time suggested in this video, you should get a big, complete abs and core workout without actually doing excessive spinal flexion and putting extra pressure on your lower back. Has that been helpful for you? And if you've made it this far through the video, then you can show me that, and that's a huge vote of confidence for me that this is the type of content that you want to be seeing by smashing that like button down below, because that's going to help others get this ab workout, and you're going to be stopping them from getting back pain rather than them trying to hit massive amounts of sit-ups, which long term isn't going to be great for their back. And if you want to see more of our content and you're part of our community and you haven't subscribed yet, then why not hit that subscribe button? That's a huge honor for us as we build this community. So smash that subscribe button, and then I will be seeing you on the next video. Speaking of next videos, here's another one that you can check out to help you on your health and well-being journey. See you on the next one.